Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AskSebby, and today we are going to talk about whether it makes sense to use the American Express Platinum card to book hotel stays. The quick answer is no, it does not make sense because the math doesn't add up. One quick exception to this is going to be FHR, which is the Fine Hotels and Resorts program. If you are someone booking stays through this program, then I do think it makes sense to use the Platinum card because of these perks, but be aware that you are probably not always going to be staying at these properties. The main reason being that, depending on the city, price point typically starts at about $400 a night. I'm willing to drop $400 if it's somewhere very fancy, but if it's something like New York, if it's something like Los Angeles, that doesn't really make sense for me. If that is you though, then this video probably isn't for you. The reason I wanted to do this video is because I have gotten this question in multiple different variations for quite a bit, and I think it's just something worth covering. Outside of these expensive properties, let's look into why it doesn't make sense. Actually, before I walk through everything, let me know down below what card you typically use to book hotel stays, and also if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I think one of the big confusing points that people get stuck on is that when you look at the American Express Platinum card, one of the benefits they mention is that you earn 5x back on hotels, but that is specifically for hotels booked directly on amextravel.com and not booked through the hotel. If we look into some of my transactions, so here is the Cathay Pacific round trip business class flight, we see the 5x back. If we look at the hotel stays though, we don't really see this because this was directly with the hotel and not through Amex Travel. This means unless you go through Amex, you're only going to get 1x back. 1x back obviously isn't the best, but you still get the benefits of status if you have it, and you also earn elite points. Depending on where you're staying and also where you have status, these can be pretty helpful from late checkout, upgrades, all the way to lounge access and free breakfast. Even if you value these minimally, there is still value there, and I think it needs to be factored in. For me, I'm also pretty biased because I want to show you guys a more interesting room rather than getting just more points back. On the flip side, if you book with amextravel.com, you're getting that 5x back, but your status and your elite points are not going to work. The main reason for this is because Amex Travel is an OTA, which stands for Online Travel Agency, and most of these hotels do not like them at all. If anything, these hotels have pretty much done the opposite. They don't really want to give you perks if you go through them. My guess is because these OTAs do typically charge a fee for Expedia, for Hotels.com, and everything else in order to source the leads, and they probably don't want to pay that. That's why we've also started seeing a lot of these hotels offer price guarantees, so if you find a cheaper rate somewhere else and you tell them, then you're going to get that rate, they're going to match it. If you are someone set on using the Platinum card, then you're stuck between these two decisions. You might be thinking to yourself though, hey, I don't care about status, I think all of that stuff is stupid, I just want a place to stay, and I just want to maximize the number of dollars in my pocket, so obviously I would take the 5x back. But if you are going down that route, that still doesn't make sense, and we'll cover that one towards the end. The third option on the list is to use a specific hotel card to book directly with the hotel. Here, you're going to get a pretty high multiplier depending on the card. That could easily be 4x, 5x, 14x, so it can add up pretty quickly. The other perk is that you get your elite benefits if you care about that, and if you have one of these cards, you probably do. And you also get other point multipliers and also stuff geared towards status. To me, this is kind of the win-win-win of everything because it knocks each of these quadrants out, and it does a pretty good job of it. The big case against this one is that you do have to have an extra card and you might not want to pay that annual fee. For me and for a lot of people, I think it's pretty reasonable to pay that fee though, just because most of these cards do come with a free anniversary night or they just don't have an annual fee. So if it has an anniversary night and you're paying $95, you can typically use that free night for something like $200 if you do a little bit of research. This is why I have so many hotel cards, and again, this is the thing that works for me, but it might not work for you. The final category is for people who do not care about status and who just want to maximize dollars. If we go back to the top of the chart, you might think that's going to be the 5x back through Amex Travel, but that's not really the case. The main reason is because Hotels.com exists. With Hotels.com, if you just book directly through them, you're effectively getting 10% back because after 10 stays, you're getting 1 night free. If you spend $100 per night on 10 nights, then you're going to get a free night worth $100. On top of that, you can typically buy Hotels.com gift cards when it's 5x back categories for the Chase Freedom, Discover It, and all of those 5x back cards. So this means that you're getting 10% back from Hotels.com directly, and then an additional 5x back or 5% back. And again, we've talked about how 5x is going to be equivalent to maybe 10% back if you have the Freedom Card. And we talked about this in the Freedom Card video, I think a few days ago. Another option that makes even a bit more sense is going to be the Capital One Venture or Venture One card, where you earn an additional 10x back for Hotels.com. So effectively 20% back. Jumping back to the chart, you can see why it doesn't make sense to use the Amex Platinum card to book hotel stays other than FHR. I think the Platinum card is a good card for a lot of reasons, but I don't think booking hotels is one of them. Hopefully this video was informative. If you do want to see what we've been up to in Vegas, go to our other channel, Sebby Fun, where we have a bunch of Vegas footage showing their Chinese New Year decorations for different hotels. If you want to see more travel stuff, feel free to subscribe to that channel over there. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. My question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think this is something that a lot of people know about, or do you think they're oftentimes confused? Is it something you like, you don't like? For me, I don't really mind because that's not really how I use the Platinum card. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. If you know anyone else who'd benefit from what we just talked about, feel free to share this video with them because it's probably going to help them out. But otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.